let's head back into the kitchen where Chef Scott Samuel has another delicious recipe for us.
What inspired me to be a chef is when I was young, my mom cooking in the kitchen and the smells that were coming out, and I always wanted to help. My first job was 14, and I was a prep cook in a restaurant for the fun of it. And then I kind of got the feel for the adrenaline and working with food, and had my first chef job when I was 19, working with my hands and getting to actually create something that satisfies somebody else and nourishes them.
We are bringing home this beautiful, gorgeous basket that I would love for you to deliver to my house every morning.
This is our market basket. We have a Deer Park garden, about 2 acres, right across the street from Greystone. We have 800 heirloom tomato plants, 300 Padron peppers, 200 squash plants, cherry tomatoes, Asian fig tree, apple trees, blackberries, sage, little patty pan squash, sunflowers. Everything that we picked, I'm incorporating the Padron peppers in our recipe, fresh basil, and zucchini.
Okay, so really the big buzzword for us is, please use what's in your garden.
Please use what's in your garden.
Yes.
And we're trying to teach the American public and the industry how to be a little bit more healthier. And our focus here at the CIA educating the industry is health and wellness, from fast food restaurants on down to fine dining.
Because it matters.
It matters.
So this recipe, you know, I love ratatouille.
So what is ratatouille?
Now, we're at the CIA, so I'm getting nervous, right? Ratatouille is the type of cuts of the preparation of the dish.
Right. So it's a traditional French dish made with vegetables from the garden.
All right.
And in this case, we've diced them all about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. But the base is traditionally going to be onions, peppers, tomatoes, and zucchini. Today, we're going to serve it with grilled steak.
Oh, wonderful. All right, show us how to do it.
What I like to do is cook the garlic first. So I'm using some olive oil, and I'm going to cook my garlic and cook it into little garlic chips.
Oh, great.
So that I create a flavorful garlic base. And I've sliced my garlic really thin.
Oh, real thin, yeah.
And then I'll have a garlic infused olive oil as the base of it. And I've kind of picked this recipe based on the fact that our Padron peppers are a Spanish type of pepper, which are not too spicy. You might think it looks like a serrano or a jalapeno.
Does. Yeah, it does.
But it has a really mild flavor.
As I've always said, how to pick out a hot pepper, the smaller the pepper, the hotter the pepper. But in this case,
the smaller the pepper, the less hot the pepper. It's true.
Not, right.
If they get too large, they're too spicy.
Just the opposite. All right, these are beautiful.
All right, so this is what this should look like, and this will be an ingredient that we add later to our ratatouille. The next step is to add our diced onions.
Onions, okay.
So we're going to cook this down on medium-low heat
until
they start to caramelize. And for the peppers, I'm just cutting them pretty chunky, and then chop it roughly. And we're building this ratatouille in the steps that are needed to create the flavor. I wouldn't want to put all the ingredients at once because then I'd have boiled vegetables. I'm trying to cook it in sequence so that I develop flavor and texture and get the most out of each vegetable.
Now these heirloom tomatoes I want to show you, I'm assuming they are these.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of different varieties in the garden right now. I picked a variety of them. And this is a technique I learned long ago from one of my first chefs when I was 19, is to add the tomatoes. It kind of deglazes the bottom of the pot or the pan. And then while this is going, let's do the next step. We want to saute this zucchini. I will season with a touch of black pepper and a touch of cayenne for a little bit of heat.
Now we're going to talk about a steak, correct?
Yep, grilling steak.
Yes. It's one of the biggest questions I get here in California, as we all know. We can grill year-round, really.
Yep.
So a lot of folks love charcoal. I know I do. People have gotten away from cooking with charcoal, but those that do love it. We're needing to re-educate them as how to cook a beautiful steak on a charcoal barbecue.
Okay, so the first step is to make sure you have a hot enough grill.
And the heat, the heat.
So this has been warming up for a while. We have some nice coals, oil it, and then I like to season the grill.
Well, now I've never seen that before, really?
This is I like to season while it's still moist with the oil, and the salt actually sticks to it, and it helps season the meat and actually helps it not stick.
How about that, you guys? Now that is a secret ingredient right there. I love it.
So this whole beautiful garden mixture can go right into the oven.
Oh, it's very nice.
And this should be done by the time our steak is done.
Great, okay. Best recommendation for getting the charcoals ready. I dump my Kingsford bag of charcoals in there. I light it. How long do I let it sit?
For about a half an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay.
You want it until you don't see any more black on the charcoal.
Okay.
And you just see ash. Right now, as you can tell, it's pretty hot.
Yes.
And you want it that hot.
Okay.
So I'm about 4 inches above the charcoal.
Okay.
And I've seasoned this with a little bit of thyme, garlic, and olive oil.
Yes.
And a little bit of salt.
And of course that went on the grill too. So we've salted the grill and we've salted the steak. Next we'll salt the chef.
Season to taste, please.
We're going to let these cook. We've got the ratatouille in the oven. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back. I mean, this was really fun and easy, quick. Okay, a perfectly grilled steak on the barbecue with wonderful charcoal that we let heat up for a half hour. Let's see what it looks like.
Take it off the grill and you want to let it rest in a warm spot.
Oh, in a warm spot?
In a warm spot.
Okay.
So the plate's warm, it's near my stove.
We want the steak to relax a little bit before we eat it.
Right.
So we're letting it relax and cool down a bit.
You wouldn't want to put it right on the plate. If you've ever cut into a steak right off the grill, the juices are all released.
Yeah.
So we want it to be a juicy steak. It's about almost an inch thick, so 5 minutes is about right.
Okay, all right.
The ratatouille, I brought it out of the oven, just kind of finishing it here. This is pretty much exactly what it should look like. I just kind of take these out at the end. Let's plate this dish up. One other thing that I'm going to add to this at the very last second is fresh basil.
I love fresh basil.
So just pull it out of the garden.
Okay.
Want to take
that
this
smell when you, yeah.
Want to take the stems off. The stems are a little bitter. I'm going to do that cigar method again.
You are. You're going to roll a cigar.
And we're going to do what we call chiffonade. That's just taking an herb and cutting it very thin. Now I'm ready to serve it. So let's make this look beautiful. It's garnished with a couple tomatoes.
From your beautiful garden.
Shaved pecorino cheese.
Look at that.
Salt. We'll place our steak there. You want to garnish with a couple garlic chips?
I love these garlic chips. Right on the ratatouille. There we go. Another fun recipe. Easy. You were taught here at the CIA. You haven't taken a class here? Sure you have. You just did. And the recipe's on our website. We'll be right back. Oh, that's great. Oh, I love these garlic chips.